It's an honor to be here. Thank you, First Flight Society, Woodruff, and National Park Service, Wright Brothers Memorial. My name is John Jameson, and Wilbur and Orville are my great-great-uncles. And that's an inscribed status I share with my two brothers here, Paul Jameson and Duncan Jameson. And unlike Mary Fike, I'm not here from years of hard work or monumental achievements. I'm here simply because I was born. Just like everyone here, I had no choice in my parents. As fate would have it, my father's name was also John Jameson. Now, although Orville died 11 years before I was born, my father actually hung out with Orville Wright on quite a few occasions. I think that's pretty cool. So, how do we get from the Wright brothers to me and my brothers here? Well, let me go back 4 generations to my great-great-grandparents, the Bishop Milton and Susan Wright, who we've heard of earlier today. Between 1861 and 1874, Milton and Susan had 7 children: Rushlyn, Lauren, Wilbur, Otis, Ida, Orville, and Catherine. Now, 2 of those names may sound familiar, and that's because they're etched on that monument on top of the big hill there. We've heard of Catherine today. The other 4 may not be so familiar. Now, the 7 children, twins, Otis and Ida, they died shortly after birth. Catherine married, never had children, and Wilbur and Orville never married, never had children. So that left Rushlyn and Lauren, my great-grandfather, to make descendants. And they made 4 apiece. Now, Rushlyn raised his family in Kansas, and Lauren, on the other hand, raised his kids a few blocks from 7 Hawthorne Street, where Wilbur and Orville lived with the bishop and Sister Catherine. Mother Susan had died in 1889. So Lauren's 4 children spent lots of time with Wilbur and Orville. They would be playing games, reading stories, cooking and baking, just all sorts of fun. Now, one of those children was Leontine Wright, my grandmother. And Leontine gained a little bit of notoriety as being the first little girl in America to ride in an airplane. Uncle Ward took Leontine, 12-year-old Leontine, up in 1911 for a 10-minute ride at Sim Station in Dayton. Leontine later went on to Oberlin College, where she met my grandfather, John Jameson. A few years later, in 1923, Leontine and John were married. So when Orville died in 1948, my grandfather became what he called literary executor of the estate and pitched the idea of publishing the letters of Wilbur and Orville to Fred Kelly, the official biographer of the Wright brothers. And in 1951, Fred Kelly's book, Miracle at Kitty Hawk, came out. And it was followed in 1953 by the Library of Congress's 2-volume Papers of Wilbur and Orville Wright. And the editor, Marvin McFarland, credits my grandfather with conceiving that project. So the Wright brothers story is a truly amazing one. It couldn't be better if you made it up. It's a tragic tale of American ingenuity, determination, and triumph. If you haven't read one of the excellent historical biographies out there, I highly recommend you do so. And if you want to delve further into what made Wilbur and Orville tick, no better way of doing that than through their letters. So let me just finish up with an excerpt from the very first letter of the Wilbur and Orville collection, written by 9-year-old Orville in 1881. Dear Father, I got your letter today. My teacher said I was a good boy today. We have 45 in our room. The other day, I took a machine can and filled it with water. Then I put it on the stove. I waited a little while, and the water came squirting out of the top, about a foot. The old cat is dead. You all enjoy yourselves here today on these hallowed grounds where Wilbur Norval first flew 111 years ago this morning. And on behalf of the Wright family, thank you.